great power comes great responsibilities. That is a law every barber should take to their heart. But what happens when a barber ignores that law? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of Enzo Matiba, the barber who became a villain. Okay, so our story begins in a small town in the South African province, Limpopo. This is where Enzo was born, okay? You see, Enzo comes from a long line of barbers, okay? His father was a barber, his grandfather was a barber, his great-grandfather was a barber, and so on. As a kid, he would spend his time in his family's barber shop. Yes, the family had a barber shop. It was called the We Make You Flamboyant Barbershop. I know, right? Badass name. Enzo spent his childhood studying the art of cutting hair directly from his father. And when he turned 16, he would get his first test, cutting a real person's hair. That person was a 16-year-old kid called Marco. Okay, remember that name. This was a big day for Enzo. He had spent years studying for this day. Failure was not on his mind. The minute Marco took his seat, Enzo began moving with great focus, universal focus, all distractions thrown out the window. The only thing Enzo thought of was cutting hair. The process itself took 30 minutes, and when he finished, Enzo took a step back, looked at his work, and asked, So, what do you think? There was no response, just silence. A cold, long, lingering silence. Then, boom, Enzo's father fell. Boom again. Marco fell. Both individuals had an eye-gasm. Yep, Enzo had done something phenomenal, okay? He had turned Marco into a mega flamboyant giga chad. When people saw Marco's cut, many customers came to the shop, okay? The shop was already doing well, but now was doing better. They were all coming to get the same treatment Marco got. People would come in looking dead. Then after leave looking like they are ready to conquer the world. Enzo would eventually take over the barbershop at the age of 20 and he would take it to new heights. Okay, the shop went from being a town shop to a worldwide shop. Thousands of people would come to get Enzo's cuts. Even big people like celebrities, politicians, influencers, and more. Enzo would even go on to win a Nobel Prize. Everything was perfect. Until it wasn't. Enzo got word that his father was dying. He visited his father in the hospital where the two exchanged their final words to one another. Papa, son, my time has come. I am proud to have given birth to a head genius like you. Before I go, I want to leave you with these words. If a customer ever leaves a barber for another barber, 9 out of 10 times, it's because the OG barber did something wrong. Enzo's father died. The death of his father put Enzo in a deep sadness. He took a break from the barber shop. The shop was closed for a month. After the month, Enzo returned. He had healed and he was ready to get back into cutting hair. He opened the shop and thousands of people lined up. It was expected he was gone for a month. But Enzo wasn't fazed. He just did his work. He started cutting hair day to day, no breaks, different people. Everything was going back to normal. But one thing felt off. You see, among the different customers that came in, whether it was regulars or newbies, one face didn't show up. It was an individual very close to Enzo, his most loyal customer, Marco. Remember him? Marco was the first person Enzo ever cut. Okay, let's go back a bit. You see, on the day when Enzo cut Marco for the first time, the cut was so immaculate that it also changed Marco's life. He became an actor, a model, gained fortune, and married a beautiful wife. All these changes kept happening to Marco, but one thing remained the same: his barber. Marco would still go to Enzo for a cut every week. He never missed a day. For years, it was like this. So Enzo was confused. Why was Marco not showing up? Marco had never missed a day before. He expected Marco to be the first person he would cut since he was gone for a month. So, after 3 weeks of waiting, one day Enzo decided to get off work early and visit Marco. He rang the doorbell and Marco answered. Enzo.
No.
Hey man, look, I can explain.
How could you? You were the last person I expected to cheat on me.
Well, what was I supposed to do? You were gone for a month.
My father died.
Weak excuse. Thousands of people die every day. What makes your father's death special? Look, bro, without a fresh cut, my life ends, okay? I couldn't go a whole month without a cut. You know that, right? So basically, you cheated on me. You did me wrong.
No.
Yes, it's the truth. Look, bro, I'm going to be the bigger guy and forgive you. Just don't screw up next time. I'll see you on the usual day. Enzo was heartbroken. He spent that night drowning in sorrow. But after a while, that sorrow turned into something dark, something sinister. Enzo was not gonna let this slide. He began scheming, planning his revenge. Marco had unleashed something he shouldn't have, and now the world was gonna pay. A few days went by. Marco came into the shop looking for a cut. Enzo, my man, the usual. Enzo nodded. Marco took his seat, and Enzo began cutting. Nothing was out of the ordinary. After a cut, Marco went back to looking like a mega flamboyant Giga Chad. But before he could leave, Enzo grabbed Marco's throat and put the hair slippers slightly above his hairline.
Don't move. Don't move. Or else.
Okay. Just please, don't do this.
You know, what you did, it really broke me.
I know, and you have every right to blame me. But please, don't let one mistake I made ruin our relationship, ruin what we have built. Enzo, I know I messed up, but please, all I'm asking is for a chance to atone. Don't you want to go back to the good old days? Remember those days?
Yeah, I remember.
So please, let's get past this, or at least let me atone. No need to do anything dramatic.
Okay.
Enzo took a few steps back and gave Marco the meanest look. When Marco made eye contact with Enzo, his heart began beating at a rapid pace. Marco quickly looked at his reflection and... no, his hairline. Enzo had ruined Marco's hairline. Boom! Enzo delivered the finishing blow, completely destroying Marco's cut. Marco fell down. He was paralyzed and lost consciousness. When word got out of what happened to Marco lost everything. His wife left him. He lost his acting career and his fortune. He lost everything. As for Enzo, his store was shut down. After a few weeks, a broadcast across the entire world. It was Enzo.
Loyalty. We barbers care deeply about that word, but many of you don't. If you did, you wouldn't cheat on your barber, and for that, you will all be punished. Right now, there are over 1 million barbers providing services to customers, and if I press this button, I will give a signal which will tell those barbers to ruin their customers' hair.
Get the negotiators ready. Sir, he already pressed the button.
Yeah.
And so I had pressed the button, so all the barbers got the signal. And before I continue, I just want to say, viewer discretion is advised. The next scene is very disturbing. The results of Enzo's actions were nothing short of chaotic. Yep, the world was in chaos for a month. Wasn't talking crime, panic, riots, pure chaos, which only lasted for a month because after that month, the victim's hair had grown back. Enzo and the other barbers were hunted down. The hunt lasted for a year, but they would eventually get captured. The other barbers would be sentenced to life in prison. As for Enzo, he would be given the death penalty. His last words were, "I did nothing wrong."